Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is my best race ever. Racing here at round 10 in the top split, an over 300 point race up for grabs. Let's take a look at the starting grid. On pole from TX3, it's Cooper. In P2, Volkswagen Scirocco of Loop. Third place from Vanquish Esports, it's Chris 22. In fourth spot from Canada, it's GTP Gooners. Running out the top 5 is Gearthquake and his SRT Viper. P6 from Virtual Life Experience, VLX Dino. P7 sees another BMW from NSF 05. 8th spot, Citroen of R4M Wheaties. In 9th, we've got Benezzi in his Mazda Atenza. In 10th spot, from Canada, it's Greasy Sam Squanch in the Porsche Cayman. In 11th, we've got GT Academy driver, multiple World Tour competitor, Turismo Lester. In 12th, for Subaru, it's DV Stewart. 13th place, he's another Lexus RCF, this time it's from Sin Standucci. In 14th, in the Corvette C7 CA-MG. In 15th, in the Aston Martin, it's Sakona. Here we are, my humble self, NRT Swordsman 52 in the Hyundai Genesis, qualified all the way back in 16th place. Right behind us, we've got K-Bonix in his McLaren, PX7 Grove from Phoenix Division 7 Racing in his Citroen, and rounding out your field is the Black Storm in his Corvette C7. Alright, on board, start the lap 1. Because we qualified towards the rear of the field, we decided, you know what? Since the racing hard tires are mandatory, we're going to go ahead and start on hard tires. Didn't do a lot of practice with them, so we weren't sure what the grip levels were. The only goal for this first lap was just don't spin. As we already see one driver right ahead of us goes a little wide, and I almost lose it myself. But luckily we're able to stay on track and stay on course for having a clean race finish. So coming into this evening, I was sitting at 59,000 driver rank with a 99 safety rating. We actually ended up doing the first slot. We were actually door number 20 against some of the best in North America. Qualified 19th with a 207.1, and we finished 12th. But I felt like we had the pace, if we changed our strategy around a little bit, that we could actually finish in that top 10. So here we are for second slot, once again in top split. As always, we're hoping for a clean race to maintain our 99 safety rating. Alright, here we are at the end of lap 1. Let's get these racing hard tires off. Because I'm so far back from the leaders, I decided, you know what? We're going to swap to the softer compound. Although it's not required, it should keep us in the pack. Just admiring that beautiful red, white, and blue Nezzo Racing livery, sponsored by Damien Sportswear. Alright, end of lap 2. A couple drivers ahead of us opting to do the extra lap and go into the pits now. And from that, we've already advanced from qualifying in 16th. And after just 2 laps, we've made up 2 positions into 14th place. Alright, here we are, end of lap 3. Yet again, a couple more drivers coming into the pits. And I wasn't entirely sure what strategies were playing out, but it did seem like, almost seemed like every single driver on track was on a different strategy. So although DV Stewart pitted ahead of us, we do maintain our 14th spot. Alright, here we are, end of lap 4. Putting on the hazards is Turismo Lester, but telling the other drivers, you know what, I'm going to make a pit stop. So he comes in, DV Stewart comes in. And just like that, our racing soft strategy is starting to kind of pay off. already made up 4 positions. We're sitting in 12th spot. So being a 300 plus point lobby, the goal for this race was hopefully improve. We had to improve on our lowest score of a 210, which in this lobby would have been 9th position. Alright, lap 6, Stinjucci actually gives me the signal, you know what, you're faster, go ahead. Excellent sportsmanship by him. I've had plenty of great races with him in second split. On to lap 7, I decide, you know what, VX7 Grove is a little quicker than us, I'm not going to fight him. I'm going to tuck in behind, make sure I have enough fuel, and most importantly, let's save our tires and work together. Alright, here on lap 7, Benezzi actually has a 1 second shortcut penalty. As we know from the Gran Turismo penalty system, the 1 second penalty is probably more than 1 second. So he gets slowed down, I'm able to actually make the pass, and all of a sudden, we're in the top 10. This is actually turning out to be a pretty good race. Taking a look through the field, mid-pack. Alright, 7 down, 11 laps to go. Here on lap 8, heading towards turn 1, CAMG, running in 7th place, goes wide. As he makes his way back on track, he makes the smart decision, you know what? Not going to mess with anyone's races. I already screwed up. I'm going to go ahead and let them by. So I have to applaud that driver for that kind of sportsmanship. Right here on lap 8, as TX3 Cooper is building his significant lead. We've already had 4 DNFs. 2, I believe, from disconnects and 2 from rage quits. The battle for second is on between Vanquish Chris 22 and Loop, with VLX Dino and GTP Gooners close on their heels. There's NSF in his M4. Now the battle is also on for 7th position between Arthur and Wheaties, his competition Citroen and PX7 Grove, the leader for North America, and myself in the Hyundai Genesis. So, lap 9, Wheaties actually has to serve a half a second penalty. I feel we're close enough to that both of us can actually sneak past, but I found that Grove slowed down too much, so I opt to make a daring pass around our... Check this out. Slow down just enough that I'm able to make this pass stick. And since he acknowledges I'm on the outside, he actually lifts for me, so thank you so much, Mr. Grove. And just like that, halfway through this race, we have made up 9 positions. We are sitting in 7th place. Now I knew the gap was a little strong. It was probably about 5 or 6 seconds all the way up to 5th and 6th. But I figured, you know what? As the Citroen's pit, we're going to stay out and push these racing soft tires longer than I even practiced. So we end up doing 9 laps on the soft compound. Coming to the pits, and we're actually going to swap to the racing mediums for the final 8 laps. Alright, coming out of the pits, sitting in P10, not too bad. As we look at a replay, start at lap 13, TX3 Cooper, the leader, who had a substantial lead, ends up losing it in turn 1. Unbelievable. And shortly after that, he ended up quitting. So that therefore handed the lead over to Vanquish Chris 22, leading ahead of our friend NSF in his BMW M4, GTP Gooners of Canada in P3 with VLX Dino in 4th, Loop in 5th in his Volkswagen Scirocco, And all of a sudden, because of that another driver quitting the race, 5 DNFs, we are now in 6th position, which at this point I couldn't even tell you how many points it was. I just knew that, you know what, we've actually built up a little bit of a gap. So the worst we could do is maybe 9th, 8th or 9th. But at this point it was, you know what, keep our head down. We've practiced consistency. Although we're not the fastest driver in this top split, we're trying to maintain the consistency where we can just stay ahead. Don't make any errors, don't get penalties. Run the same lap every lap. Alright, on to lap 14. Turismo Leicester actually gets a really good run. I give him the blinker to go on my left. He actually opts to go on the right, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to let him pass. He's in an Aston Martin. I'm in a Genesis. His car is easily faster in a straight line. Hopefully I can stay with him, get that slipstream to be able to pull away from 8th and 9th. Lap 15. Less than 4 laps to go in this competition. We're starting to lose the toe from Turismo Leicester. However, as we watch the replay, it turns out 8th through 10th are actually starting to fight for position. So our 1.5 second lead is slowly growing. On to lap 17, what is sportsmanship? As these two drivers just are banging heads. I mean, come on, fighting for 4th place, which is probably about 280 points. And just unfortunately, Dino actually gets punted by GTP Gooners in that from some hardcore unsportsmanlike conduct. So we may not even see him in the next FIA race, as he'll be repairing his safety rating. Nonetheless, here we are, actually it's the final lap. Vanquish Chris, easy lead at a loop in P2. Turismo Leicester actually inherits 3rd as NSF has to pit, comes out in 4th, and all of a sudden, we're sitting in 5th place. We qualified 16th. Who would have thought that simply staying on the track, running consistent clean laps, not getting any penalties, and just being as patient as we can be, especially after one of those kind of days at work, to have the amount of patience to just keep it between the lines. And we're in a position where we can get some really valuable points to close out this FIA exhibition series. Alright, so there's the gap. Chris has a substantial lead over Loop, who has an even bigger margin back to 3rd. It's probably 10 seconds. So Turismo Leicester pulling away from NSF on his soft compound, NSF on his stint of the hards. And there we are, Swordsman in 5th place, ahead of 6th and 7th, who seem to be battling it out. So they had closed on me just a little bit. They had actually narrowed the gap down to under a second. So I was pretty nervous, but I thought, you know what? Let's just see what happens. Make sure we don't run out of gas. And just keep it between the lines. Rounding the final turn, your winner, Vanquish Esports, Chris 22, in his debut actually for Vanquish Esports in FIA. So good job to him. Loop takes home P2 in his Volkswagen Scirocco for a beautiful 300 points. Great job, mate. 3rd spot sees the legend himself, Turismo Leicester, with another podium. 4th place, NSF 05 in BMW for 4th, and Racing Swordsman, we made up so many positions. I can't believe it. So check that out. This is actually the most points I've ever gotten from FIA. So new record. Here are the final results. We maintain our blue S for a 99 safety rating. I checked Kudos Prime after the race. We are finally back over 60,000 driver rank. That was our goal this whole season. Unbelievable. What a race. I really thank you so much for watching. It really means a lot. Continue to give me your feedback through the comments, and we'll see you next time. Bye.